Brit Awards, Wretch hasn't been nominated.
That fucking pisses me off, I ain't even gonna lie.
So there's Ed Sheeran
in hip hop,
best male solo artist. If we're talking about urban, Ed Sheeran, Professor Green, female solo artist Adele, Florence and the Machine, Jessie J, Breakthrough Act, Ed Sheeran, Emily Sandé, Jessie J, no Wretch. Wretch32 has not been nominated for a Brit Award. Disgraceful. Of course he deserves to be nominated for a Brit Award.
I don't want to be all black about this, but are there any black people in that nominations list at all?
Emily Sandé.
I don't want to be all black about it.
I think black, Asian and Caribbean people make up less than 10% of this country.
3%.
Well, how much do we do musically though?
So I'm just saying, I thought I'd just put that out there, you know what I'm saying? Before we try and make this whole country black.
We're talking about the music though, innit?
3% of the top 10 is not black. There's a lot more than 3%.
Are black people buying the music though? Are they buying the music?
But that's not the point. The point is, should they be here?
Yes.
Yeah, of course. It's hard to say if he should or not. Me personally, as a fan, yeah, I think he should. Without knowing the full logistics of who sold what in album sales and everything for all the artists that are nominated, it's hard to say exactly.
Wretch32 should definitely be there, and it really frustrates me because...
In front of who? Because you're saying best male solo act, you've got Ed Sheeran. I'll tell you a bit about Ed Sheeran, he went gold on.
Yeah, no, you ain't got to tell me nothing about it.
No Gallagher, say no more. Pro Green, James Morrison, and you got James Blake. Now the first person I'm ignorant to is James Blake. James Morrison,
I tell you what, do you know what you do? You add him. You don't got to take anybody out. You add him. Because he deserves to be there. I'm not saying that anybody should be taken out. I think he should be added. There's nothing wrong with that. Give him the recognition that he deserves.
There's one slot for hip hop or urban in any category. You get one slot.
Those spaces should only be for people that you like, oh my god, he's gonna win it. No, he's gonna, oh shit, no, oh fuck, we can't decide. It shouldn't be on some kind of thing like, yeah, these are the 4 contenders, he ain't gonna get it, let's just bring him in anyway. That is fucking bullshit.
Not to take anything away from Pro Green at all. He's a dope artist, whatever. But he's not the only one in that position, yeah? Tiny is, if not more successful. Alright, Wretch is probably not on the same level as Pro Green, but my point is, what you're saying about black artists is, why is it just Pro Green who gets that one hip hop slot?
How do they judge it? They judge it over the course of a year.
But this is what I'm saying. What made them go with Pro Green over Tiny? Urban music makes up more than 50% of the charts, and we're still in a situation where urban music gets one spot. I'm not disputing Pro Green should be in there, he should be in there. I don't know about Breakthrough, because to be honest, I think he broke through a couple of years ago, but nevertheless, there should be room for Pro Green and Wretch to be in there. So my issue is more the fact that even though urban music is now the dominant force of the charts, we're still only being given one slot, which doesn't make sense to me.
There's loads of politics.
See, we gotta understand what that fucking based on, otherwise the argument is fucking void. If it's based on how many fucking records you sold, then it's pointless for us to fucking argue, you know what I'm saying? If it's based on taste, then we're fucking going around in circles arguing again.
But you need to ask that actual question, you need to ask the Brit organisers.
I don't even know what the awards are based on. So for me to say you should be, even though I don't know what it's based on, it's fucking ridiculous. I don't know what I'm arguing about. Award ceremonies for art shows that's not based on figures, it's bullshit. Because what the fuck are you going by? Like your personal taste? Suck my dick with that shit, man.
I remember a couple of years ago when So Solid were at the top of their game. I'm sure they had a category which was just the urban category, and if you looked at that list, it was like a mile long. Every urban person that you could think of was in that list, and then they got rid of that category. It's no longer there. So if you've noticed now, they kind of recognise a few urban artists, but
alright, forgetting Brits for a second, because that's a lot of competition. You're talking about the pop world, and do you know what? Pop world, units.
Go to Middle England, bro.
Go to album sales and go to single sales, yeah? Top 10 albums. None of them will even be in the single chart sometimes. So if you're saying, let's say mobiles, let's say something that was derived from urban, because I don't know why Wretch didn't walk away with at least one mobile.
I think people need to kind of stop thinking about the Brits and the Mobos too much. If you look at the history of the Brits in itself, if you remember Craig David, how do you have like the biggest year out of everybody? You get nominated for 6 awards and you walk away with none. So if that can happen to Craig, I'm not shocked at the fact that Wretch hasn't been nominated at all.
Wretch has had the #1 in this country, yeah, which is a difficult thing to do in itself anyway, for someone of his stature, yeah. Secondly, he got a #5 with a song that nobody would have ever thought that it would have, with Tractor. So he had a #5, a #2 and a #1. How the fuck can he not be in the Brits or even be nominated? When you look at it on paper, yeah, Wretch32 has had 3 top 5s, he's had a #1 and he's had a gold record as well, yeah. He's been an absolute underdog as well, yeah. I just can't understand how anybody could say that he doesn't deserve a nomination. I'm not saying the guy should win, because everybody's saying, oh, Ed Sheeran, he sold this much and Jessie J's done that. He deserves the recognition.
Like, that's just, to me, that's just patronising him. I don't understand why you should patronise him. That's disrespectful. I got so much love and admiration for Wretch. I feel that, do you know what? I don't want you to recognise him when you feel he's a contender. I want you to recognise him when you feel he's a winner.
That's what upsets me about the Mobo thing, because the fact that he didn't even really get anything over there, I feel like that's an excuse for them to just say, well,
that alone,
I never said that.
for that, no, I said it. For that alone, fuck the Mobos for not even having Wretch in that category. Because Wretch is for us.
He ticks all the boxes, so he can do the commercial sound, but still be relevant to me and still appreciate a journey universally, in opposed to just one separate market. I feel that your mum could probably listen to Wretch and like him.
Wretch is the only artist right now that's selling records like he's selling records, yeah, for people that really come from this music. Nobody else is doing it. I think Wretch is kind of the poster boy for credible urban music. Not to say Tiny or Pro or whoever like don't make credible music, but he was denied the Mobo, which essentially might have hindered him being nominated for a Brit, which to me was a disgrace in the first place. He's the guy that needs to be recognised to represent a certain side of urban music which is missing within the Brits or within the mainstream.
Wretch32's album just went gold. That's 100,000
certified.
He only released his debut single beginning of 2011, and it charted #5. He's so talented and he's so humble and down to earth as well. Like, I'm actually a bit upset that he didn't get nominated for a Brit Award. I was upset that he didn't win a MOBO award, but you know what? Like, how much credibility do all of these awards actually have these days anyway? I think a lot of people just turn their nose up to them, to be honest.
Because this is my point. It's one spot, and they have to have a cross section. They have to keep the guitar band fans happy. They have to keep the hip hop fans happy. So every artist gets one spot. Wretch's competition isn't fighting with everybody else. It's fighting with Pro Green.
That's my point.
So who done more? Wretch or Pro Green?
So we need to have this argument.
Yeah, Pro Green.
Who
Pro
deserves
Green
it then?
Pro Green sold more records.
They're definitely going to be ones that's compared, and I think if you look at them two, Pro Green is going to be put forward a bit more than Wretch, and I'm a bigger Wretch fan than Pro Green, so that's me from a neutral perspective. Pro Green have performed on X Factor.
Hold on 1 second. But how many #1s did he have over the last year? Either one, maybe
but it was
two.
one. But it was #1 for 2 or 3 weeks. Wretch's was just #1 for a week.
They both deserve it.
That's true.
Based on Snitch's point about that every particular genre gets a fucking segment, who do we think deserves it from the urban background?
It shouldn't be like that.
I'm not saying it should be, but I'm saying if that's what it is.
I love Emily Sandé. I think what she's done is great, but if she can do features and be nominated for the Brits, then why can't Wretch? If Wretch just has his own songs doing his own thing, why can he not be Brit nominated? It don't make no sense. What Teeth was talking about, I don't know.
They just give one slot for every music. Urban music right now is a dominant force in pop culture. Yeah. It sells more than guitar bands these days. Sells more than dance.
Single charts or album charts?
Maybe not album charts.
No, I don't know how many no. He went platinum though. Really? Yeah, he definitely went platinum. I saw him on Summer Rain the other day.
What I don't like, so we've got 5 artists. They say, right, one from this genre. Why don't you do a reflection of what is actually the dominant force in pop music? So if the dominant force in pop music is more urban than it is guitar band,
but is it though?
From what I can see, yes.
I feel sometimes we're in a bubble.
Of course,
we're so oblivious to what
only know what you know. No disrespect to Wretch, I fucking love Wretch32 as an artist. When he fucking track got into the charts, I was like, oh my god, we actually have a lyricist that is fucking dope from Britain, and he's in the fucking mainstream charts. But in terms of how personally I feel whether he gets an award or not, why do I care? Like, why should I care? Is the fucking question I'm asking. Award ceremonies for fucking art shows retarded to me.
If you can have 3 top 5s and you can have a gold album, the stats
I think Wretch should be walking home with one. But then the only thing is, if they're gonna do it on album sales, if we look at that, he's gone gold. When did that album come out? And then how long has it taken to go gold? If your album's gone gold now, and Ed Sheeran went gold on pre-sales, I don't even know if I can argue with them two.
Yeah, because they might.
And I love Wretch. I love Wretch.
Wretch is an amazing artist, but the people that he's up against, I think they've sold hand over fist a lot more than him. So if we're looking at numbers, they've done a lot better. If you're looking at talent, then that's a totally different award show.
This is what I think. If you can't win at a MOBO award and you're doing music of black origin, I can't expect you to win a Brit Award.
Poet raised a good point. The fact that he hasn't won a MOBO, it means it's gonna make it very hard for him to get that recognition in the Brit category.
If he won a MOBO award, his profile grows, you get to buy into him more.
I'm not saying that Wretch should win it.
With Chucky's argument about Wretch32 should just be nominated anyway, even though he shouldn't win, that's almost a piss take for me. Like, in terms of like, you'd call someone up, knowing they're not gonna win, but just give them a pat on the back like, well done. That's more offensive than not fucking being nominated, in my opinion.
And people are saying, oh no, if he's not gonna win it, then who can tell you that he's not gonna win it? If he gets nominated, how do you 100% know that he will not win that award? You don't know.
At the end of the day, we've all agreed, yeah? Ed Sheeran, for example, he's gone gold in pre-sales. I mean, you can't deny that he's got 1 million followers, he's done a lot of stuff. But I just think with Wretch32 having 3 top 5s, having a #1, having a gold album, how could you not include him in
competition?
Doesn't matter.
I feel bad for Wretch because I feel like he's going to have a real uphill battle to climb, and I feel like he doesn't really deserve to be climbing that hill. He should be nominated, but shoulda, coulda, woulda. You can ask that question all day because that's how it goes sometimes. So sorry, Wretch. Maybe next year.
Maybe this year just wasn't his time. But with an artist like Wretch, I don't ever worry. Like I know he's gonna win a Brit, 100%. Just like I know he's gonna win a Mobile next year, 100%.
Chipmunk and Wretch didn't smash the fuck out of that.
You think that was that amazing?
I'm going over.
See you later, mate. I'll pay for your cafe.
Hey, grandma. It's gonna be like Bogles. Lyrics. Pink New Era.